Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for July 29th. I almost got mixed up and said January, but it's July 29th. July 29th is the 210th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. Yeah, that's right, 211th in leap years, with 155 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is hypocracy. Hypocrisy is a noun with a couple of meanings. One is insincerity by virtue of pretending to have qualities or beliefs that you do not really have. And the other is an expression of agreement that is not supported by real conviction. Examples include people who might tell you not to eat candy while they chomp away on licorice all day, or people who say they hate cars, but they're always begging for a ride. Those are probably unlikely examples, but I think you get the picture. Anyway, such people would be engaging in hypocrisy, or behavior that is different from what they say they believe. Behavior different from what they say they believe. Alrighty, and with that, we're going to go way on back. On July 29th in the year 238, the Praetorian Guard stormed the palace, captured Pupienus and Balbinus, who were then dragged through the streets of Rome and executed. On that same day then, a 13-year-old named Gordian III was proclaimed emperor, the sixth emperor of the year, the sixth emperor in that year. Almost the end of July, and they've already gone through 5 emperors, and now they're putting a 13-year-old in. To his credit, he did rule until his death. Unfortunately, that was in the year 244 when he was 19. So Rome kind of had a hard time keeping emperors, I think. And apparently this is a day of very young people ascending to rulership because in the Mayan culture, a young fellow named Postal ascended to the throne in the Mayan city-state of Palenque at the age of 12 on July 29th in the year 615. By the way, the word Postal, his name, Postal means shield in the classic Mayan language. Postal lived a good bit longer than Gordian III did. Where Gordian only lived to the age of 19, Postal lived to the age of 80 and ruled that entire time. During his reign, Postal was responsible for the construction or extension of some of Palenque's most notable surviving inscriptions and monumental architecture. And if you have had the opportunity to visit Central America and see some of that firsthand, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, think about planning a trip there to see it. Although there's plenty of videos available on television and YouTube that will show you some of that stuff, but it's quite impressive in person. The inauguration of the Arc de Triomphe in Paris took place on July 29, 1836. This is the birthday of author Booth Tarkington, born July 29, 1869. He was a prolific writer, had many novels and short stories to his credit. He lived to the age of 76. This is the birthday of Italian fascist revolutionary and politician and 27th Prime Minister of Italy, Benito Mussolini, born July 29, 1883. He lived to the age of 61. And to say that Mussolini was a pill would be a vast understatement. Oh, what a character. The Cape Cod Canal opened on July 29, 1914. Adolf Hitler became the leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party on July 29, 1921. The International Atomic Energy Agency was established on July 29, 1957. On July 29, 1958, President Eisenhower signed into law the National Aeronautics and Space Act, creating the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, more commonly known as NASA. On July 29, 1981, a worldwide television audience of over 700 million people watched the wedding of Charles, Prince of Wales, and Lady Diana Spencer at St. Paul's Cathedral in London. And I must admit, I was one of those 700 million. Today's song is Light My Fire by The Doors, number 1 on July 29, 1967. Hard to imagine it was that long ago, but there you go. Light My Fire was recorded in the summer of 1966 and released in January of 1967 on their first album, The Doors. It was then released as an edited single in April of 1967. Hit number 1 on this day, July 29, 1967, where it remained for 3 weeks. The song Light My Fire was released in a cover by Jose Feliciano the following year, 1968, and that one also did well, landing within the top 10. Light My Fire was primarily written by Doors guitarist Robbie Krieger, but then when he took it to the band, just about everybody had something to add to it, and authorship was credited to the entire band. In those days, there was some controversy over the phrase, "Girl, we couldn't get much higher," and the band was asked to change that line when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. They rehearsed it with the altered lyrics, where the word higher was replaced with better, but Jim Morrison, being the rebel he was, sang it as it was written. Made Ed Sullivan pretty mad. Jim's defiance may have cost them some bookings, but they somehow managed to get along. In 1968, Buick wanted to use the song in an ad campaign. "Come on, Buick, light my fire." I think that would have been a cool campaign. Everyone in the group agreed to it, except that Jim was in England and out of pocket, unavailable. When he heard about it, he pitched a fit and said if the commercial ran, he would personally smash a Buick with a sledgehammer. I don't know how they are now, but back then Buicks were built out of pretty stout materials, and smashing one with a sledgehammer would have been quite the task. But Buick backed off. The ad never ran, as far as I know. Goodness, what a side trip. Well, Light My Fire was number 1 on July 29, 1967, and there is, yes, a link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include the link to my blog page that is called, no really. You can also find me on Rumble, Parler, BitChute, and Getter. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.